Oh, that ice pack feels nice.
It's real nice. Mine's already almost melted.
Mine is almost melted, too, because we spent, like, the last hour in here just shooting the shit.
Shooting it.
Speaking of shit, did you know that in, like, fucking North Korea or some shit, people go poop hunting?
What?
I learned about this on TikTok.
What kind of poop? North
Like,
Korea?
Any kind of poop. I guess they, like, the government wants fertilizer because they don't have enough fertilizer because you know how, like, they don't have, like, fucking crops or animals or anything
Or,
over
like,
there?
anything.
It's all, like, fake.
Yeah.
So then each person has to meet a poop quota every year. So, like, every January, if you're a family of 4, according to this TikTok, then you're responsible for providing the government with 1 ton of shit. I don't even know how you move a ton of shit. So what families do is every time they shit, they collect their shit and they save it. And people steal your shit if you have it out because they want to meet their quotas. And rich people pay to have black market shit so that they can meet their quota. So people go shit hunting.
That's not real.
That's what I saw on TikTok.
There's no way.
And I don't know.
Also, why don't they just have a sewage system and be like, and let's pick it up from here?
Well, because they want the fertilizer for, like, the nukes and shit or whatever the hell it is you got to use fertilizer for. Fucking, what is it? Napalm. I had to think about, like, whatever the fuck they use it for.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. But couldn't they just collect it in the pipes that they've already got running in the houses?
maybe they just need the pure shit.
Just pure shit. No
Just need
pee
pure
mixed
back
in
shit.
it.
But do you remember when, like, it was pretty
The
recently?
other TikTok that you sent me, that was like this lady put poop in bottles and it turns liquid eventually, which tells me
She would be great in North Korea,
something wrong.
is what that tells you. That was an episode of Hoarders, and no.
There's holes in this story. Is all
It
I'm
was
saying.
not. No,
The
no.
poop
This was a
turns to
separate
water.
TikTok about North Korea, and she said that you're responsible for giving up a certain amount of poop every year. And the problem is that everybody's starving there, so nobody can poop.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
you poop once a week or twice a week or something, so there's not enough shit to meet your quota, and you'll get in a lot of trouble if you don't. So then there's this whole black market for poop. And do you remember pretty recently, North Korea sent over a bunch of fucking shit bags over on weather balloons? It was like legit trash or whatever, and it started
yeah.
popping all over the place. Fucking checking out for me so far.
Listen, but it wasn't actually shit in there, right? It was like trash.
I think some of it had fecal matter, which would make sense, you know? Like, if really the government was collecting shit just to, like, pop balloons of shit all over the rest of the world.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, except for the part where, like, people were actually, like, fined or hurt for not giving enough shit.
Yeah,
like, there's
that'd
a
be
black
bad.
market for poop.
I don't believe this, though. Like, I don't believe this
I did
story.
not research it at all.
I'm gonna
So if
tell
you're in
it
North
like
Korea,
it's fact.
Yeah, that's what I chose to do.
But just know that in my heart, I don't think it's real.
I mean, but if you think about it, there's a whole market out there for poop then that would be so easy for us to make some money, but then so unethical because, like, do we really want North Korea having all that fertilizer?
All my good shit. This is extra volatile
Oh
shit coming
my
out of these
God.
fucking bottles.
Yeah, I don't
don't-
know what that is. That's
I
got some
don't-
preservatives. Our shit, U.S. shit is not, you can't
It's
use
actually
it.
not flammable.
No,
like
it's
it
not
should be.
safe at all. You can't
just-
use our poop.
Microplastics. It just melts.
We just shit glitter.
What is that? Wrappers?
It's like the dollar store confetti.
God damn!
Oh my God. Okay, enough of that.
Anyway.
What's your goddamn, Erin?
Oh, let me tell you.
I can't wait.
First, I have to tell you. Do you know how, like,
The Muffin Man.
when someone makes a real jalapeno popper
Yeah.
and they have the jalapeno with the stem on it and
Yeah.
you eat it and you hold on to the stem and you bite it and then you have that little stem part left and the
Right.
little, like, cap or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Same rules as pickles.
Yeah.
Maybe without the cap. But,
But,
with the
like,
stem.
it's a stem,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pickles don't have stems. You got the stem.
Yeah, they do. Sometimes they do.
That's
you don't
fucking
eat
weird.
pickles. They grow on a fucking plant. Why is that weird? How the fuck do you
I've
think
never
a pickle
seen
becomes a pickle?
I've never seen a pickle with a stem.
At least every jar of whole pickles, you get at least one with a stem.
That's untrue. I don't believe you.
Eat pickles.
I hate pickles.
Okay, first of all, this is the second thing now that you don't believe me on, and you have zero information about both of them, so you don't get a fucking opinion.
Yeah, but I've got a pretty good radar for what's bullshit.
No, you don't.
I
Because I'm
feel like
telling
you're
you facts.
bullshitting me.
Have you ever seen a cucumber grow? Do you know that pickles are cucumbers? Should we start there?
Yeah, I knew that.
Have you ever seen a cucumber grow?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you believe that they have a stem to make the fruit?
I believe that there is a stem that makes the fruit, and I believe that when you pull it, it comes off.
And do you believe that sometimes, occasionally, you might be able to pull that, and that stem would be like, not today, motherfucker. You ever picked a lemon? Ever picked an apple? You know how, like, a leaf stays behind or something?
Sure.
Yeah. So sometimes there's a stem.
But not in your jar of Vlasics.
100%. We'll go, after this, we'll go pop a jar open
All right.
and see.
Well, let me go.
I might have already eaten it, though, because that one's got a perfect handle, so it might be the first one that comes out. You don't eat the stem. Just
Yeah.
like you don't for a jalapeno.
Anyway, this is the jalapeno thing. I'm talking about that little leftover bit that's left on it, right? You got the little stem, and then you got the little cap. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need you to keep in your brain for this, okay?
Okay.
So, the other day, I was in my house, and I'm just fucking walking around. We have not had jalapenos in a fucking long-ass time, by the way.
Is this another cat turd that you pick up thinking it's a jalapeno?
It's not a cat turd. It's not a cat turd. It's not a cat turd. And I did not pick it up with my hand because I was able to recognize it pretty immediately as not the stem of a jalapeno with the little cap on it, but in fact, it was a mouse tail with the whole fucking asshole.
Oh,
still on
no!
it.
Not the tail!
The tail. It was the whole tail with the asshole cap on it, and then there was just one
Asshole
shit next
cap.
to it. Oh my god!
A mouse shit?
A mouse shit and one fucking asshole stem jalapeno popper one biter on my floor in the kitchen, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Thank God it was the day after your kids had left my house. I was like, had they woken up to this, I would never hear the end of it.
Oh my god, my kids would have been stoked.
Oh
They would
my
have not stopped talking
God.
about it.
Oh my God.
There was
So
a tail.
I found that, and I was like, okay, my fucking murderers
Yeah.
that I live with clearly did something to it.
They
Note,
did.
I have not found the other half.
Well, they probably ate it.
I'm fucking hoping.
That's so weird. They didn't want the tail or the asshole, huh?
They didn't want to tell you
That is like the cap of the jalapeno.
Yeah, they're like, this is trash. Can you throw it away? They put it in the kitchen as if to say, could you throw this away from me?
It had the turd in it. They're like, this one's actively shitting.
Ew.
I scared the shit out of it.
Just bite it off at the poop. Yeah, that's what this fucker did. So I found that and I was like, that's horrifying.
Do you think it was Sonic or Greg?
I think it was Sonic.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was very proud. Murderer.
Oh,
So
yeah. Well, good for him.
We
you know?
dealt with that.
Better
And
than
then,
alive. There's an and then? No and then.
There's an and then. So then Brandon was like, we have mice. That's terrible. Let's get those little rodent fucking
Catchers.
things that you plug into the wall that
Oh.
like make them mad and they don't want to be in here, right? So we had one of those. We plugged those in like the next day or something. And then my brother was over playing board games. Everyone's having a good time. Hank is over at the corner of the house and he is a little agitated and he's fucking around where like we have a pile of kids' toys next to the window. And we're like, maybe he's trying to get out the, like, look out the window.
Maybe he's trying to get the fuck out of here.
Maybe he's just trying to fucking bail out this 3-story window. No, I was like, maybe he's trying to look out the window, like maybe see something out there, maybe something's going on. I don't know. But he was real agitated in that corner. And I was like, I'm not dealing with that. I just dealt with the fucking jalapeno
Yeah, a little asshole.
You know, that's not my business.
Yeah.
Not my business right now. I'm not going over there. It's not my
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Whatever. So then Brandon was like, I'm going to go look for it. Like, see what he's fucking about or whatever. He goes, girl, there's a mouse in the house.
No.
There's a mouse in the house, and it's in, like, a kid's toys area. Like,
Great.
Lego boxes, right? So it's, like, stack of boxes. And Brandon's going to move these boxes out of the way. And he's like, get me a Tupperware. And I was like, fucking absolutely.
Like, we're catching it like a fucking spider here.
We're catching it like a fucking spider. And so Hank, the dog, is like about it. Like,
Yeah,
fuck yeah,
like,
Dad's
I'll
here.
get it.
We're going to get this shit, right? He's on Brandon's 6.
Like, they're hunting.
ready,
Yeah.
right? And then I brought Brandon a Tupperware, and he was like, okay, I need like something hard to slide under it once I get it, right? And I was like, totally. So I brought him the lid to it, and then he was like, can you get Sonic? And I was like, what? He's like, I just want him to be here in case he gets away. Then, you know, like
He's got his backup plan.
Yeah, he's got the backup because Hank's on the other side. And I was like,
Sonic's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm off duty.
literally, this motherfucker was sleeping on the changing table. Like, that is his bed, right?
Yeah.
So he's all curled up on there like, I'm fucking out. I've found the other one.
Yeah.
So I grab Sonic and I bring him over to
You're
where
like,
Brandon
look
is.
alive. It's time to pay your dues, bitch.
Yeah, but you can't explain to a cat what he's about to be thrown into, right?
Sure. He's just waking up, all cuddly.
Literally, yeah, like hanging in my arm, like, what are you doing? Where are we going? And so then I go over to Brandon, who now has started moving the boxes, right? And I'm like, oh, he's gonna get it. Girl.
Oh, God. What happened?
I don't know what happened, but Brandon screamed. And then the mouse was running and like jumping over him. And so then Brandon falls on his ass and he's like on his ass with his legs like out in front of him. And then the mouse is over by his feet. And he panicked that the mouse was going to go up his leg, up his pant leg.
Yeah.
And so then Brandon like screams or whatever again. And then I realize now, oh, I have the weapons. And I throw the cat on him.
I have the weapon. I'll just smooth this all over
I'll fix this. When I throw Sonic on him, who has no idea that there's a mouse. Like, why Brandon's
He
freaking
just
out.
thinks you're chucking him. Look alive, cat!
Figure it out. And then Hank's
All
there like,
claws.
"Ooh, where is it?" So Brandon was able to compose himself rather quickly, and he did get the mouse under the Tupperware, but he was
Oh
like,
my
I saw my
God.
fucking nuts flash before my eyes
I'm
because
sure.
that motherfucker was going to go up my pant leg. And
Oh, fuck
he's like,
that.
you don't realize how vulnerable you are until there's a mouse like at your pant leg.
I bet.
So then we caught that one, and we were able to get him out of the house. And hopefully there's no more, mouses in our
fuck,
houses.
man.
But I think that we've got a little mouse problem, and we're trying to figure that out.
You're scaring me.
Yeah, well, fucking
I ain't
lock
got
up
no
your
cats.
doors. Yeah, you ain't got no cats.
I ain't got no cat.
You got Chelsea, though. That bitch will catch a mouse.
That bitch will catch a mouse. She'll
Yeah.
catch a gopher.
She'll catch a gopher.
She'll catch a fly.
Yeah,
She'll catch a
but
bird.
I might be the gross one with my new jalapeno shit. Although you did explode a gopher, so I'll let you keep it. But no, I'm coming in second.
Yeah, you're coming in hot. You're trying. You're
I'm
trying.
I'm trying with my nasty ass mouse house.
Yeah, you are. You
Yeah.
want to hear my goddamn?
I do.
It's not nasty this time.
Oh, thank God.
Well, it's nasty in some ways. So I went to Bend, Oregon this weekend to celebrate a coworker's wedding, and it was a blast.
Hell yeah.
But we kind of waited last second because a lot of shit was happening in our lives. People died, a lot of fucking chaos. So we waited to the last minute to book our flights. And when we did so, Lee was like, they're so expensive because Bend is actually, you have to fly into Redmond. It's a small ass airport. I don't fly often. And anytime I ever have flown, it's always been to like big fucking international airports and shit.
Yeah.
So we're going to fly to Oregon. And when Lee went to go book the tickets, they were so expensive at this point, probably because everybody's fucking going to this little airport for this wedding. I think we took over the whole
Like,
town.
how many people are going to this wedding? Oh, fuck. That's how many people
it's
get on this
the whole
plane.
airplane. Yeah, exactly. So expensive that Lee was like, oh, it's only a couple $100 extra more if you want to go first class, and I'm going to do it. We're going to treat ourselves, whatever, right? Now, like I said, I don't fly often. I'm more of a road trip girl. Grew up that way, right? And I have flown first class exactly one other time, and it was for our honeymoon, and it was literally on a whim while we were in the airport. They did that announcement thing where it was like, we'll upgrade someone to first class for whatever because they need room. I don't even know what it was. But it was on a whim again, and Lee was like, I'm going to upgrade us. So I have flown it, but just let it be known it was a red eye, and water was spilled all over my lap, and it was not very impressive. I was like, this is so dumb. So I don't know shit about first class. And we got first class tickets. So we get to the airport that day, and our flight's at like 2. And so we get there at noon, and I get a nice airport drunk going. Not like, I'm
As
not
you should.
crazy. I'm just buzzed, feeling great. I'm ready for my fucking vacation.
Yeah.
Kids are with grandpa. It's a me and husband kind of weekend. I'm so excited. So we board the plane. We get on first because we're first class.
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
woo.
You get to watch all the peasants walk by.
Yeah, judge those asses. So our seats were the first seats, the first row in first class, which I didn't know this, but there's no stowing your luggage under there or anything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
there's
have
no-
to use the above bin. Didn't know. And all we brought was a backpack because we had checked 2 bags, but like all that's on the plane is a backpack. And you know what goes in a backpack on a plane? Snacks, headphones, like the shit, a book.
The shit
to
that I'm going to
yourself-
keep by my feet.
Right, exactly. And there was no place to keep by the feet. So I put it above, right? This flight is full, motherfuckers, and it's loading, whatever. Everybody gets on, and we're about to taxi. The door's still open, but we're about to taxi, and I think, oh, shit, let me grab my headphones real quick, because I'm going to have to stay seated here in a minute, and I want to be able to listen or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I get up, and I grab above the bin. I pull my backpack out a little bit, and I'm digging, and I can't find it, and somebody's getting on the plane. So I'm like, oh, shit, I need to get out of the way. So I start to sit in my chair, and I pull the bag down to, like, put it in my lap. As I'm pulling the bag down, like my bag is still in the overhead compartment, this motherfucker getting on the plane takes his luggage and shoves it into the hole where mine is. And I stop and I look at him. I'm not seated all the way, right? Like I'm still in the middle. And I look at him and I'm like, oh, no. I'm using this. Like I'm just getting my headphones out. And he's like, yeah, but it's a backpack and there's no spot for my luggage anywhere else. So
You're in the beginning of the plane. The front.
I'm at the very front of the motherfucking
And this
plane.
motherfucker just got on. He's
He
going to tell you there's
just-
nowhere else.
Nobody else was boarding the plane, Erin. Like, I thought we were about to close the door and taxi. This
Yeah.
fool is fucking late to the
Yeah.
plane, okay? So I'm shaking telling you this story. I was so upset, right?
Ooh.
So I'm like, and I've kept this from you. I have not told you the
Yeah.
story yet. Okay, so I'm like, no, I was just getting my headphones, right? And he's like, oh, you're really going to do that? He's making a scene. I'm red because, like, I don't belong in first class. I don't
Yeah.
know the rules.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I barely just learned that I don't have a spot to put my luggage. You
Yeah.
know? Like, I'm learning this as we go.
I
and
would
I'm
love to keep my
drunk.
shit down here, but also, fuck you, sir.
Yeah, I'm drunk, right? Okay, and so he is going hard. And he's a really tall, white male, privileged-ass motherfucker.
Was he a first classer?
Yes,
Or,
he
I
was.
was gonna say, or
but
could
I
you
didn't
tell
know
him,
that.
Get behind the fucking curtain.
I
dick."
didn't know he was a first classer.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he just walked on and did all this, right? And I'm like, just looking around, like, I don't know the fucking rules. It's a backpack. I realized that seems kind of silly because he kept being like, you have a backpack. And by the way, he had a backpack too, and it was so overstuffed. And he kept pointing, like, down, halfway down the plane. Put your backpack there. And I was like, why don't you put your backpack there?
You said that to him?
Fuck yeah, I did. I was like, why don't you
Good.
put your backpack there? And he goes, because it won't fit. And I'm just like, that's not my fucking problem. You overstuffed it. I didn't say that. I was just kind of looking around like, am I in the wrong? Like, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And now at this point, he's making such a scene that the flight attendant and both pilots, pilot and co-pilot, are coming up because we're right there, right?
Oh my God.
They're coming up.
Fucking dads came out?
The dads came out, and I had my shit in my lap at this point, and that fool had his bags in there. And I was just sitting there, and I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, I literally was just trying to get my headphones. I don't even know what the fool's saying. I'm like blacked out right now, and I'm looking at the pilot and the flight attendants and everything, and I'm like, do I really have to move my stuff right now? I was just pulling out my headphones before we taxied. Girl, nobody said anything to me. They were all just staring at me like deer in headlights. The only person...
Because nobody wanted to stand up to him.
Nobody wanted to stand up to him. This went on for a couple minutes. The only person who said anything was Lee by my side. At one point, as soon as I pulled my bag down the rest of the way, Lee just went, no. That's all he said. And that was all enough of a fucking signal to me to be like, you need to back the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
And so I just kept acting totally unbothered, but I was fucking shaking.
I bet.
And I was so red. And I was like, well, you're going to have to move it because my shit's going back there. Like, I just didn't, it's like talking to my toddler.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really have a game plan if this
Yeah.
fool says no, but I'm just going to keep acting like this
like,
is the answer
it's
and
under
you're going to have to
control.
deal with it. So eventually he did pull his shit out and I
Good.
put it back up there. By the way, I think it was his seat that his bag opened. Like, it was like the end of fucking first class is where that little luggage thing was. It was close to him. It was fine. And he had a seat he could shove it under.
What
Like,
an asshole.
oh my God, the guy was just being such a dick. But afterwards, I turned to Lee and I was like, am I in the wrong? Like, should I move my backpack? I don't know the fucking rules,
Yeah.
right? And the guy next to me, he starts laughing and he goes, oh my gosh, I thought you were on like Candid Camera or something. Like, I'm looking around for the camera. Like, is this guy a joke? And I was like, well, I'm really glad you're saying something now because I wasn't sure if I was in the right or the wrong. And then the fucking flight attendant came up to me and she was like, what was wrong with that guy? And was just talking shit. I was so flat. I was more pissed at everybody else. I was like, you guys didn't do a fucking thing. Talk about diffusion of responsibility or whatever that fucking
Also,
psychology thing is, you
This,
know?
like, tall guy is pushing around this, like,
Little-
small girl.
And
Like,
I was fucking enjoying my buzz, man.
And
so-
luggage on a plane, like, to me, that's kind of one of those, like, I mean, not to be, like, weirdly fucking genderist or something, but, like, Brandon has to get the luggage out of the top thing of the plane for me. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think I can reach it.
yeah, it's
I'm
hard.
too fucking short,
Yeah.
and I don't like doing it. Like, that's kind of a man thing, or
Yeah.
whatever. And then for, like, a little girl to be getting her fucking backpack down, like, don't bully me, sir.
Leave me the fuck alone. That guy
The
was
fuck?
just such a dick. And then I was mad at like the fucking arrogance and audacity of that man to talk to me like that.
Yeah.
And that's what worked to get me out of it is I just matched him with it.
Yeah.
Even though I was like, fuck man, I need to like game plan a second. What if he says no? Like, do I make a scene? But I was also buzzing, so I
That's
was
when you
like,
just take it out and, like, put it on the ground or, like, in his lap and be like, here you go.
you can hold it then and hand it to me when I need shit. I also
No,
was
his
pl-
backpack.
Oh yeah,
Here
yeah.
you go.
I was going to. That really was my plan. Like, and I think I had said if you put it up there, I'm just gonna take it out. But I was shaking so bad, and I was so upset, and he fucked up my buzz. It took
Yeah.
me like half the flight to be okay again.
Did they get you free alcohol? They bring you anything?
No, but
What
Lee
bitches?
got 2.
Why?
I didn't even get 2.
Why?
I don't know, but they brought him 2 like rum and cokes or whatever they are. And Lee was like telling the story later and he was laughing like, yeah, they brought us an extra drink. And I was like, they brought you an extra drink.
Goddamn.
God damn. I almost stabbed a motherfucker.
On a plane, too.
With my
That's-
earbuds. I don't know what I was going to use, but
you get
I was ready.
blacklisted. You just make them swallow them.
I know, but that's the other thing though. I was buzzing, so I was like, I can get crazy. Like, I need to check myself, and I know that about myself, which is the most self-aware thing I've ever done when I was drunk. So
Yeah.
I need some appreciation for that.
Yeah, honestly, especially with Lee as your side piece doing rum and coke over there, like, you had no one to hold you back.
No one. That fool wasn't going to hold shit back. He was just going to be like, well, you've done it now. Uh-oh.
He has no stake in the
But
way.
I was
He doesn't
so
give a
calm
fuck.
because I didn't want to get blacklisted or fucking arrested for being like drunk on a plane or some shit.
Yeah.
So it's just like, everybody be cool.
All right, well, you want to hear about some murder?
Fuck yeah, I do.
Murder. Okay, today I'm going to tell you about Stacy's mic sounds.
I'm literally shaking just reliving that story with you. Clearly that affected me, huh, guys?
I bet. Tell your therapist about it.
I have therapy today.
Okay, Today,
so mean.
episode 305.
Yeah,
Nope,
let's hear it.
Episode 306. 6. I'm going to tell you about John Combs.
All right. Sean?
John.
Aw.
Sean. P. Diddy.
I don't know if you guys have heard.
No, John. John, I'm not trying to get on anyone's radar.
All right. Well, you're no fun. I try to get on everybody's radars.
All right, I'm going to tell you about John Combs.
Okay.
He was born on September 14th, 1954.
We call him D. Piddy.
D. Piddy.
All right, go on.
He was a Virgo.
Oh, so he was so kind,
He-
down to earth, organized.
Yeah, all those things. And he's a diligent worker who excelled at what they do, but their lofty ambitions can lead them to be too critical of others. That's a Virgo.
Oh, fuck, I can relate to that. I'll judge everybody. I'll be like, you guys are fucking lazy.
Got those lofty ambitions.
Ain't
And you're
nobody
like,
doing shit.
this motherfucker in first class overpacking showing up late?
Yeah.
Overly critical.
Not my fault you don't know how to fucking pack your shit like a grown-ass adult, you little fucking twerp.
Yeah,
Get out
that's-
of here. Shove your overstuffed bag back in coach
It's probably what John would say to this guy, too.
next to the shitter.
Why don't you get back and coach where you belong?
Yeah, motherfucker. That's where I belong. I literally belong in the most coach's coach. Like, by the shitter.
But not that day.
not that day. That
Not
day
that
I was
day.
a goddamn first-class princess.
Yeah, you take up your space. You know what I mean?
I owned it. Barely, but I did.
Barely.
Fucking almost got it taken.
Well, this story does not take place on a plane.
Okay.
Instead, it takes place in Victoria, Australia.
Ooh, okay.
So John finished school at the age of 15, and he apprenticed
Damn.
to become a mechanic. Now, it said completed Form 4, which I tried to find out what Form 4 was, thinking it's like a, I don't know, like Section 8 housing or something like Form 4, you get out of school because your parents need you to work. Whatever. I don't know what the fuck I thought it would be, but then it was like, yeah, it's just like the 4th year of school.
Oh.
So I have no idea if he finished or if he graduated.
It
Or if he
sounds
was
like
just
it.
like, I'm done here. Like,
On
I've
the
had
fourth
enough.
year, senior year, he's like, I'm
That's
just
what
gonna
I think
call
he
it.
was 15. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started young.
Yeah,
He's
maybe.
a genius.
He was a genius.
You're like a second year when you're 15?
I would think, yeah.
Yeah.
Second, like sophomore, yeah.
Sophomore,
Second.
junior? I had to think about it.
Fucking
What are they
all of
called?
them. Yeah.
Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
So he was 15, and then he went and apprenticed to become a mechanic, okay?
Okay.
But he didn't end up completing his apprenticeship, and instead he went to join the Army when he turned 18.
Ooh.
He served as a truck driver in the Royal Australian Corps of Transport, and he got married at 19.
Okay.
He and his wife had 2 kids. And then John got into an accident on the job in 1974. And so he was discharged after sustaining a head injury.
Oopsie. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Those
Uh-oh.
aren't good.
Head injuries are never good.
Not for a murder story, they're not.
So after being discharged from the Army, he had a string of odd jobs. And then
Just
he
skinning cats and wetting beds.
the usual. Then he became a manager at a hotel for like 8 or 9 years or something, right? So
Basically the same thing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding if you manage a hotel.
you go through a lot of bodies.
Yeah.
Nobody knows you. And then on November 16th, 1984, John and his wife were hanging out having a good night, and then suddenly John's friend showed up and he was pretty agitated.
Uh-oh.
The friend was Andrew Opie. And Andrew apparently had just been punched by some guy.
Oh, no.
Granted, he thinks that the guy punched him because
For good reason.
like a couple weeks ago or something, he had beat up some other guy who was 44-year-old Henry Kells. And so
Okay.
they're thinking that this guy that Andrew is fucking with tonight was like in retaliation for him messing with Henry.
Andrew.
Andrew is the guy.
Oh, okay.
He was messing with Henry a couple weeks
Henry.
ago, and then he got
Right.
or something at this bar. Or whatever,
Henry's
right?
crew showed back up.
Henry's crew showed back up, did some kind of retaliation. They're
Gotcha.
thinking.
Yeah.
So John and Andrew decide that they should get revenge on Henry Kells.
Okay.
Right?
We have a
Obviously.
plan. We have a target.
We have a plan. So they knew where Henry lived, and at about midnight, they arrived at Henry's bungalow,
Oh, okay.
which is Australian for house.
It's just a normal 2-story ranch-style home.
Literally, it was like his bungalow, and I was like, what is a bungalow? So then I searched for bungalow, and it's just average-ass houses. And I was
Aw,
like, why don't we call them bungalows?
Because when I think of a bungalow, I think of almost like a hut.
Like
you
a
know,
cabana.
Like a beach hut.
Yeah.
This is
Apparently
my
not.
bungalow, and there's a lot of bamboo.
Mm-hmm. Nope. I mean, maybe there is. Maybe there's a lot of fucking koalas and shit. I don't know. But house. So they went to his house.
Okay.
his house hello. And Andrew broke in through the window, and then he went and opened the door for John, right?
Came in through the window. Sound of Christian.
So they snuck into Henry's bedroom
Nope.
while he was still sleeping.
Then he came into the bedroom.
Kept the lights off. Grabbed a knife then.
Henry, are you okay? Oh my God, we're so
Henry,
dumb.
Henry, are you okay?
Are you okay, Henry?
So he was
You've been hit by. You've been struck by.
a smooth. They grabbed a T-shirt. John grabbed a
smooth
T-shirt.
Virgo.
A smooth Virgo. He grabbed a T-shirt and he started to strangle Henry.
Oh God, with the T-shirt?
Yeah.
His own T-shirt?
I don't know if it was his own T-shirt or if it was someone else's
The
T-shirt.
disrespect.
Pop off your own top or to grab someone else's.
Like his, like
That's
to
my
be strangled
favorite
with
shirt.
your own T-shirt.
You're gonna
How
stretch it
embarrassing.
out.
Or like your own T-shirt you're wearing.
Oh
Just
God,
like,
right.
arms up, bitch.
Well, you could get him in like a hole.
Yeah, you could do something, huh?
They snuck into his bedroom while he was still sleeping. John grabbed a T-shirt or a towel, rag, some kind of fabric thing, and he immediately began to strangle Henry while he's still asleep.
Oh God.
I don't know if Henry then fell unconscious, but a few minutes later, John went to the kitchen and he grabbed a knife and he went back to the bedroom.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Andrew was apparently, like, having second thoughts.
He's like, John, you really came in hard with this.
It was just a punch.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if we need to kill the man.
hey, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, I don't know
We
about
don't even
all
know if
this.
it's Henry.
Yeah. I don't kind of having second thoughts, right?
Yeah.
So he said that he did punch Henry at least one time, but he started getting second thoughts. He was scared and he wanted to leave. So he said that he went over to where the door to the bedroom was. And he turned on the light and he opened the door.
Oh God, turning on the lights in the middle of this commotion.
Mm-hmm. And John told him to close the door and turn off the light.
It's like,
Not now.
don't
And
see me like this.
Andrew said he was standing by the door, and then John came over and said, I don't think you want to see this. And then
I bet.
they turned off the light,
Good.
and then John allegedly went over and stabbed Henry in his bed.
Okay.
Henry died that night.
Yeah. And Andrew was just like closing his eyes in the corner, covering his ears.
Yeah.
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 Do you really believe it? Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
So John and Andrew were caught pretty quickly, right?
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
everyone was like, well, at this bar or whatever, like we saw Andrew get attacked by this guy, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone could kind of put it together. And they were charged with the murder of Henry on November 27th, which was 10 days after, right?
Okay.
I couldn't find Andrew's sentence, but John was sentenced to life in prison.
Okay. So they know John did it.
They know John did it.
Yeah.
Did the actual murdering of it.
Yeah.
So John's wife divorced him.
Smart.
Mm-hmm. But that's not the end of our story.
It doesn't feel like it.
Mm-mm. This is a pretty quick one. You
Yeah.
said it was longer pages.
Yeah.
So while in prison, John met a man named Dean Leslie Ashley.
This three-name having motherfucker. Three
Yeah.
first name.
Three first name having motherfucker, two of which are girls' names.
I
So he's probably going through something, right?
bet.
He was
Sue.
27. Sue, exactly. He was 27 years old at the time. John was roughly 34 at this time.
Okay.
I couldn't find any information on it, but apparently Dean Leslie Ashley had also killed someone.
Ooh, okay.
So the two became friends, and together in their infinite wisdom, they decided they were going to escape from prison.
Oh, good.
And somehow it worked.
Honestly,
okay?
if I had life, I probably would.
I mean,
If I ain't got nothing else
what
to
else
do.
are you going to do, you know?
Right.
So they were just, I guess, able to, quote, break out of Ararat jail using a key to open their compound door. Side note, don't know where they got the key.
Yeah. Is that easy to get a hold of? It seems like not a very good jail.
Seems like someone's not doing their job,
Yeah.
but okay.
Yeah.
Key to open their compound door, a makeshift ladder to climb an interior wall, and using piping as a bridge between two razor ribbon fences. No.
Now. Yeah.
I don't know what any of that means.
A razor ribbon fences would just be like
a
barbed
barbed
wire. But like, why do you have pipes that go over them?
And you're using piping to go over it? Like, I don't know.
Oh, like did they get a hold of piping?
I don't know if they got a hold of pipes and then, like, put them on it and, like,
How the fuck are you gonna carry pipes that big?
fucking scoot it across them? I don't know.
Just get a fucking rug.
How do you do it with
You
your
got
legs,
rugs in
too?
prison?
You gotta, like,
I don't know.
I
Like
don't-
stilts? Like they made stilts?
I don't know. I don't understand
Oh.
it. Also, my first thought was not pipes. It was, like, piping on pants, like baseball pants, because that's all I've ever heard of piping. And I'm like, the
Oh my
piping's
God,
blue on these
random.
baseball. And I was like, that's not going to work. How do you?
Well, you said bridge using piping, so I was thinking they laid a long pipe along it.
I
Or that
think
piping was already there and they climbed over it. And they were
Yeah.
like, wow, it's like you made me a bridge.
I don't know. I'm unclear on how it happened or if it was set up for them or if that ladder was already there. But
God.
that happened. So they escaped. They get out, right? They were both recaptured 2 days later. Obviously.
Didn't make it far.
Because they had been seen on a train or something. And so people are like, those guys wearing prison uniforms seem suspicious.
It'd be infinitely harder to escape today.
Yeah. With just ring cameras. Well,
Cameras
and then he went down
everywhere.
this street.
Yeah, he's at the Taco Bell right now.
Yeah. So John was given an additional 6-month sentence to his life sentence,
Okay,
right?
who cares?
Yeah, right?
I'd escape all day for that.
I'd escape all day. But what, are you going to add 6 months to my life?
Go for it.
Okay.
Solitary confinement, and then I'd be like, maybe not.
Oh, this actually sucks.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, John's lawyers had been appealing his sentence and asking for a minimum sentence so he could possibly be paroled.
Okay, well, you can't be escaping if you're trying to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be good behavior
Gotta be
and
minding
stuff, right?
your fucking P's and Q's. They're never going to let you out, dumbass.
I guess. But apparently it was granted.
Oh, okay.
In-
Well, even worse.
In 1990, so 2 years after his escape, in 1990, they were like, all right, we'll give you like a parole date. And he was resentenced to 11 years. Minimum.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Just cuz?
I don't know. Yeah.
Goddamn.
I think in other countries and states and things, they frown upon like life imprisonment is like
Yeah,
as
they're
bad
like,
as the death penalty. Like
yeah.
you can't do something like that, but like for life. Although
Oh.
you took a life, I don't know. I could probably be convinced either way, but I think they're more lenient in not USA.
Yeah. I guess I could be convinced.
I guess I just think they're more lenient in Australia. That's not to say that I think that prisons are more lenient in every
Everywhere?
other country.
Yeah. Like, for sure. They're probably awful in some places.
Yeah. That's why we always watch Locked Up Abroad, right? And you're like, wow, that sounds
Yeah.
terrible.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't either. So
Like, if I were Henry's family, I'd be very upset.
yeah, but maybe circumstantially if everybody is like running with the wrong crowd, because also Henry's crew wasn't, they were beating up people or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was like a big, not good crowd and they're like, eh.
Well, see, here's where it's hard is like, because I feel like I come from that family.
Yeah,
Where
right.
like you're
we can get out though. Like we could be better.
Yeah.
We could do better. We still count as people.
Yeah.
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 You still shouldn't kill us. I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
So
So he gets 11 years.
he gets 11 years. And then in October of 1966, John was paroled.
Mm-hmm.
But the police didn't like John, right?
Okay.
Because, like, he had escaped back there and stuff, and
that
they're
makes him
like,
look real bad.
yeah, and I think the police are a different institution than the people that are paroling him, right?
Must be, yeah.
Because they're like, we don't agree with that. And so they were prepared for this. They had been digging into John's past.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, back on February 26th of 1984, Henry was murdered in November of that year. So in February, John and his buddy Glenn Conlon had gotten up to some trouble.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly, a 20-year-old man named Michael Speirani either, 1, had a relationship with Glenn's 15-year-old sister,
Oh, God.
or 2, had sodomized Glenn's 15-year-old sister.
Oh, God.
Either way, 20-year-old, 15-year-old, not a good look.
Right.
Should not be there.
Yeah.
Not good, right? I don't know what happened or if either of them are true.
Yeah.
But either way, John and Glenn decide that they're going to set him up for a confrontation.
Uh-huh.
So,
So polite.
I just want to talk to him.
I'm going to schedule a confrontation with
Just want
you
to talk to him.
in the streets.
I just want to skin him.
Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and take his life.
I'm just going to
At
hit him with my car.
2:30 this afternoon.
Just going to back over him
in
again.
the Target parking lot.
Yeah. So Michael was selling his car, and John contacted him pretending to be interested in buying it, right? That was their ruse. That's how they're going to get him.
Yeah.
I guess maybe he did buy it, or they were going to take it for a test drive or something, but they end up towing a boat with said car. And Michael is with John, and they're towing a boat. And
They
they're
got a boat.
we just got to make sure that this fucking Corolla, I don't know what they were driving, can tow this boat.
I got this boat and I really need to use it.
Yeah.
I need to launch it. So.
And if I'm going to buy a car, I need to make sure it can tow this boat, right? So they get down to the water, and then fucking bam, Glenn shows up.
Oh, shit.
There's Glenn. And then they're like, let's all go on a fishing trip.
I have an idea.
I don't know if this is a forced fishing trip,
How good are you at swimming?
but now they're calling it a fishing trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have this cement block. I'm going to tie it to your feet.
Uh-huh. So they get everybody out on the boat. They go out on the water.
Uh-huh.
Now, allegedly, they only wanted to beat him up a little bit, throw him overboard, and drive away to scare him, and then loop back, pick him up, and be like, don't talk to Glenn's little sister, right? That's the plan.
Oh, my God.
Well, that was the plan.
Yeah.
But something went wrong,
He
obviously.
drowned. They couldn't find him.
And Michael never ended up coming back from that fishing trip.
Yeah.
Michael's body was never found.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But allegedly, he had been stabbed and
That doesn't match the story.
had his body pressed against the boat motor.
What? How do they know this if they never recovered his body? Glenn?
I think somebody told him. Yeah. Because they were
His
like, well, it got
body?
out of hand.
Yeah.
Then they
pushing
pressed,
a body against the...
pressed his
propellers
body
will
against
do
a
it.
propeller. Isn't
Yeah.
that fucking horrific?
Yeah. You know what terrifies me?
That.
Yeah.
In every way, shape, or
Yeah.
form.
Anytime you're out of the boat, it's
Uh-huh.
like, is everything off?
Is the propeller over here?
I'm about to get
And they're
up
like,
this
it's
ladder.
in the back. And I'm like, okay.
It's always by the swim platform,
Why
too.
is it
You're
so
like,
fucking
Jesus, I
close?
kicked the propeller getting up.
yeah.
And they're like, careful. Like,
Scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Terrifying. So it did not match to what...
It didn't match to their
John.
plan.
Not, well, yeah, I guess not. Yeah, to the
Yeah.
plan.
So days after Michael's disappearance, John had even spoken to Michael's mother and lied about where he
That
had last seen
asshole.
him.
Yeah.
Because now there's a missing persons out of Michael, right?
Sure, and you were the last person to see him.
Yeah, everybody knows that they like knew each other or whatever, and
Yeah.
he had maybe bought this car off of him or something. And so he had lied to Michael's mom about the last place that he had seen Michael and, you know, forged this alibi, whatever, right? So I guess since his body was never found, and it's back in 1984, they didn't have enough evidence against John or anyone else, so nobody is charged with
his
Michael's
disappearance. Or anything. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. But now, remember,
Right.
after John's parole of Henry,
We know he has capabilities to murder people, and we're trying to not get paroled right now. And the police officers are like, oh shit, look at this event.
mm-hmm. And so they dug that case up again, and I guess they're able to find enough evidence to charge John and Glenn.
Oh shit.
I don't know what they found, but
Yeah.
maybe it was all circumstantial, and they're like,
Maybe
hey,
they
but
got
this is all real
Glenn.
fucking suspicious, especially considering this guy murdered somebody else after,
Right.
right?
And if they have like Glenn to testify.
Right?
Yeah.
So the judge on the case didn't believe that this murder, or the one of Henry, were enough to put him in prison for life,
Okay.
since they, quote, lacked the chilling, cold-blooded, premeditated elements of the most abhorrent. Which
Okay.
I don't really understand because,
It feels pretty premeditated if you're taking the homie out on a boat.
well, and they both seem pretty premeditated. Like,
Yeah.
you went to that man's house
Yeah,
to
that's
talk
true.
to him.
Yeah.
Just because you ended up killing him, you said you wanted to talk to him, but it sounds like you wanted to go there to kill him.
Yeah.
It sounds like you wanted to take him out on that boat to kill him.
Sounds like you stabbed him with something.
Yeah, just because you're saying it wasn't premeditated doesn't mean that it doesn't clearly look premeditated.
Actually, I have a question. If you always carry around a pocket knife and you kill somebody using said pocket knife because something happens, is it premeditated?
I don't think so, because it's
Yeah.
a tool. A knife, a pocket knife is a tool, and so then it's just like you happened to have this tool
Or
on
like
you
if
that
you had a
killed.
fucking
If you-
gun or something.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I think it's even the same with a gun. I think if you're like walking around with a machete and you don't always walk around with a machete,
they're like, that's suspicious.
he's walking around with that machete with a purpose.
She wasn't even cutting down high grass.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of disagree with what that judge said there, but either way, that judge was like, this doesn't warrant life.
Yeah.
So John was sentenced to 15 years imprisonment with possibility of parole after 10 years for the murder of Michael.
So they got him for another 10 at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then in 2007, John was paroled.
Aha.
Introducing Raechel Betts.
Is he going to kill somebody else? Oh my God.
Raechel was born on January 5th, 1982. She was a Capricorn, which means she's pragmatic and proud.
Oh.
She was about 25 years old when John was paroled in 2007, just to set a reference. A little bit about Raechel. She was engaged to be married, and then they found out that she probably wouldn't be able to have kids,
Ooh.
and she had always wanted kids.
Oh.
So she got into the business of working with kids.
Aw.
At some point, she and her fiancé broke it off, and Raechel became a teacher with an early learning qualification, and she worked as an early learning teacher in childcare.
Oh, she was like, I don't need you anymore. Turns out I can't have kids.
Yeah, it turns out I can't have kids, so I'm not trying to make them with you. You can get the fuck out. I'm just going to
Go do my thing.
nurture other people's kids.
Yeah.
Right? She met 2 young sisters, PJ and TJ. Their names are whatever, censored, you know.
Yeah.
She met them when they were younger, but at the time of our story takes place, they're 15 and 13 years old.
Okay.
Okay?
And they're siblings.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think they may be half-siblings.
All right.
So their mom was having some troubles in life, and Raechel started to take care of the girls and became kind of a mother figure to them. This went on for a few years. The girls moved in with Raechel and her roomie, Deanne.
Okay.
Okay? However, maybe Raechel started falling on hard times because she started dabbling in drugs.
Uh-oh.
Buying and selling.
Okay.
I'm thinking more selling than doing.
She's trying to turn a trick.
Trying to keep her head afloat, and she just popped into 2 new kids, you know?
Yeah.
Who,
She's
they're
like,
15
we got
years
some
old?
socks to buy.
Yeah, she's like, these bitches have expensive taste.
Right.
You know? They gotta make
Gotta
more
get that
money.
Volcom hoodie.
Right? So by 2008, Raechel had lost her job, and she was fully committed to selling drugs.
Oh, shit. Okay. Big
was-
change.
Dealing in meth, MDMA, weed, and, quote, other drugs of dependence.
And then John shows up, huh?
So by 2009, John was her main supplier.
Oh.
Because he was like, all I know is prison drugs killing people, right?
Right.
That's all he's done his whole life. He's been in prison his whole life. He understandably kind of went right back to...
He's got a particular set of skills. Yeah.
So Raechel was still living with Deanna and the girls while she was conducting these drug deals out of her home.
This is a little dangerous because you're going to get them kids taken away.
Yeah, it's not a good situation to be in. And, in fact, that is kind of proven when her home gets broken into on multiple occasions. And, allegedly, her and the girls were sexually assaulted.
Oh, no.
And it was filmed and put up on some website.
Oh, my God. Okay, so when we're doing drugs, let's maybe not do it off our front doorstep.
Don't let them know where you live, you know?
maybe hit up the Sevo, you know, or like the fucking Walgreens. I don't know, wherever you gotta go.
Yeah, somewhere else. Don't bring your family life into it. Keep business and personal life separate.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. So she contacted another friend named David, and she explained to him that she believed that someone had drugged the food in their kitchen. Like, basically, someone's out to get them. Someone's trying to kill them. She thinks that the food in their kitchen is drugged. They had all just been sexually assaulted, and it was, like, put up. Basically, they're being attacked, right?
That'd be weird if somebody drugged all your food in your house.
So
Druggies don't get rid of drugs.
That's kind of where it sounds more like she might be dabbling in the drugs and becoming a bit paranoid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So David, though, is her friend and was like, okay, I'm going to help you, right? He took in Raechel and Deanne and the 2 girls into his home with his wife.
Oh,
and
no.
Like, you can stay here with us. He also told her to bring a sample of the food from the kitchen.
So let's see how drug that is.
Just bring me a little bite or 2,
Just
you know?
a little nibble.
Mm-hmm.
See if I feel any effects.
Mm-hmm. And so then his wife took Raechel and the girls to like a medical center or whatever to be examined, make sure that they were okay.
Good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did she not file a police report?
Well, I don't think she filed a police report. She's selling drugs.
Yeah,
like, can you come to my house? Don't look anywhere.
You could be like, I was raped. And then
Yeah.
just not share any other information. I don't know what your game plan would be, but...
I don't either, but it doesn't sound like she did. But at this point, David contacted Rachel's family because he's like, hey, I think something's kind of up here.
Amiss.
Yeah, maybe
Somebody come watch her.
maybe somebody could help her, right?
Yeah.
And Rachel's grandpa decided that it was time for an intervention.
Aw.
And on June 11th, 2009, Raechel was involuntarily admitted to the Northern Hospital for treatment of a drug-induced psychosis.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They also tested the food that she had brought in.
It was fine.
It had not been tampered with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
Her grandfather also scoured whatever porn site, I guess she said that her and the
He's
girls
like,
were
let me
on.
just I'll take one for the team,
But
guys.
what site in particular?
Yeah.
I have to know which one to avoid.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, I'll find it. I'll do the research. You guys don't bother yourself with that.
Combed through it. I'm sure
Combed through it with a
extensively.
fine-tooth comb.
Fine-tooth comb. Making
Watched
sure
every video
Make
just
sure.
to be sure there wasn't just a snippet of my granddaughters in there.
not one of them.
Or whoever. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whoever,
well,
you know.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, his adopted granddaughters,
Yeah.
essentially. So there wasn't. He did not find anything, right?
Yeah.
That's not to say that that didn't exist, but he didn't find it. Now, Raechel was released from the hospital on June 18th to live with her mom. So it's a week later.
Uh-oh. Okay.
But soon after that, she had a party at her mom's house, and there were nefarious people there. There was some drugs there. Mom got pissed.
Sure.
Yeah, Mom was like, you need to get this the fuck out of my house. You go on, get. And so Raechel then went to live with the girls and their mom.
Oh.
Okay?
Who was having drug problems?
I mean,
Or problems in general.
everybody in this story has some kind of problem.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. But I guess Mom's done trying. And
Okay.
so she kicked her out.
Okay.
So
she goes lives with the kids' mom.
Now she goes and lives with the girl's mom. And in August of 2009, Raechel was called over to John's house. There was another woman there who claimed that Raechel had slept with her boyfriend, Romeo.
Oh, scandalous. How did Raechel and John meet again? They just met.
Through drugs. He became her
Okay.
drug
Oh,
dealer.
that's right. That's right. Okay.
He became her drug dealer. And it sounds like John just kind of has a fetish for confronting people.
It sounds like it.
He was like, bring her, just come sit on my couch. Bring her over here and you guys can talk about it.
In front
This
of me.
Affair in front of me. Yeah, like weird.
Yeah.
A little weird.
He's probably like, I can help you solve your problem.
Mm-hmm. He's
And
like,
you will
I
be
know.
solving my problem because I have the itch to murder someone.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I know how to fucking
Choke a
confront
fool out
people.
with their own shirt.
Yeah. So while Raechel was at John's house with this other woman and him, she admitted to the affair. And
Ooh.
I'm not sure what happened, if the girls fought or what, but like that story ends. But that was just an incident that happened there. It's a little uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
And then shortly after this, on August 10th, 2009, Raechel went and stayed the night at a friend's house. The friend said that she was acting strangely.
Drugs.
And probably. And he overheard her on the phone with someone named John.
Mm.
And then she had told the friend that she was going to be going away with John for a couple of days. But the friend said that Raechel sounded excited about it and it was going to be a fishing trip. She's pumped. And
We know his fishing trips.
Yep. And this John guy, character person, had like told her where to park her car and like,
I got a Corolla and a boat.
given all the details. Like, you're going to park over here and then I'll pick you up and then we're going to go on this fishing trip, right?
Make sure nobody sees you.
Yeah, right? So the next day, Raechel picked up the girls and their friend from school, and she brought them back over to the house. And then on the way, she was talking about the fishing trip the whole time, right? She's
Yeah.
excited about it.
Yeah.
And she told them she's going to be going on this fishing trip with her boss. She'd be back in about 48 hours.
That's a long fishing trip.
It's a long fishing trip.
She's like, I might bring back rainbow trout. I'm going to get bass.
This is going to be a little 3-day,
I'm going to get some catfish.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring back some shrimp. I
You
don't know where we're
trolling?
fishing. Yeah.
But at least one of the girls, probably the older one, would later admit that she believed that what Raechel was talking about in this fishing trip just meant that she was going to go do drug stuff.
Okay.
Like, the girl's
Yeah,
aware
yeah.
enough to be
Yeah.
like,
Well, they were
okay.
older, right? So-
Yeah, she's like 15.
Yeah, you kind of know what's happening at 15.
Mm-hmm.
I know what weed smells like.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she's doing weed, but, you know.
And I'm sure she is, but, you know.
You know.
So she brought the girls to the house, and then she packed a bag. And then at 6 p.m. that evening, she drove over to one of the girls' dad's houses, and she parked her car outside there. I don't know why she chose there. I don't know if John chose there and told her to park her car there, but she didn't have any contact with the girl's dad before this.
Does she know it's by his house?
I think she does know that it's by his house. Like, she knows who he is, but she wasn't like, hey, I'm going to go park in front of your house for a couple of days or
Right.
whatever. So she had parked in front of the dad's house, and then she gets out and she walks over, like, around the corner where some shops were. I guess they're, like, relatively close by.
Mm-hmm.
And then she met up with John at these shops and got into his car, and they left.
Okay.
Okay?
So now we're with John.
From there, they drove to Phillip Island, where, well, the plan was to drive to Phillip Island, where John knew someone named Nicole Joffrey, who lived out there alone in a 3-bedroom house. Okay?
Damn.
Phillip Island is like a pretty small little place. It's kind of like our Coronado, but I think it's even smaller than that. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's connected with a little land bridge, right?
Yeah,
So you can drive out there.
drive there.
Mm-hmm. Nicole was much younger than John, but they had occasionally hooked up.
Oh, scandalous.
Mhm.
Hooking up with your dealer.
Mhm.
Trying to get that discount. Give me that homie hookup.
I mean, how else do you get the better stuff, you know?
Honestly. Give me your good shit.
So John called Nicole that evening, and he told her that he would be coming to her house and bringing Raechel. Like, I'm coming and stopping by. So at about 7 p.m., Rachel's old roomie, Deanne, calls Raechel, and she said that she heard people in the background. They all sounded happy, like they're having fun, whatever.
Like a party or something? Get
Yeah,
together?
like a bar, and somewhere where people are.
Yeah.
At 9:11 p.m., John called Nicole and told her that they were on their way. His phone pinged in Heidelberg West, which is about 2 hours away from Phillip Island.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
His car was recorded going south at about 9:51 p.m. toward the island. So that's almost an hour later. So that's the last that we've seen of his car or his phone or anything until...
Like, he does not meet up with Nicole later.
Well, he does. We don't know that.
Okay.
That's the last placement that we have of him. Like,
Gotcha. Like, actual evidence.
Yeah, actual factual evidence of him being somewhere. Until 4:07 a.m. the next morning, Nicole called John's phone, and he pinged in Kells, which is like the northern part of Phillip Island.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he's
when
on
you
the
said
island.
pinged in cows, I was like, does she mean like he sent emojis of cows? How random.
It's strange. Just he's in a flock, a herd, a miracle. I don't know what they're called. A patty of cows. He pings up in the northern part of the island. And like I said, it's a pretty small island.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then on August 16th, 4 days later, a jogger found a woman's severed leg.
Not the leg.
The leg.
Again, that's why we don't run.
That's why we don't run. Yeah.
But a leg? What would you do if you found a fucking human leg?
Just a whole ass leg?
Disembodied.
I don't know.
It disembarked from the body.
This leg appears to have disembarked before its person?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So they obviously can't identify this leg, right? It didn't have any distinguishing marks on it or anything.
I bet I could have a guess.
I gotta guess. But she went missing from like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
No one's looking for her body there. And then on September 3rd, 2 pieces of flesh were found.
Oh.
One piece had a tattoo that was later identified to belonging to Raechel.
How were they found? Just like in the dirt, like a leaf? And they were like, that's not a leaf.
Yeah, I think so. Like washed up on the shore.
Ew. That's awful.
Yeah. Yeah, that rock, that weird mushy-shaped rock, has
Looks like a
writing on
tramp
it.
stamp.
Yeah. It has 2 dolphins, for some reason.
It's telling me something in tribal.
So, another piece of flesh was found on September 6th, which is 3 days later. And then the residents of Phillip Island are obviously
Upset?
freaking the fuck out,
Yeah.
right? They're like, excuse me?
There's skin showing up on our shores.
Can we do something about this?
Can we find the rest of it and stop this?
Yeah. So a huge investigation was launched, and when they discovered that Raechel was missing, they're able to identify the body from Phillip Island as Raechel, right?
Oh, man.
In turn, they talked to her boss, quote unquote, John, who she had gone on this fishing trip with. Everybody had heard her talking about this fishing trip with John.
Convenient.
They talked to him on several occasions, and he denied being at Phillip Island. He denied being with her.
my
He denied everything.
This
right?
guy should not be allowed to go on fishing trips. That should have been part of his parole.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be on a boat.
Yeah.
So when they get the phone records and they see his car crossing and like
Right.
where he had pinged all that time and
They're
everything.
like, oh, motherfucker.
Yeah, they're like, we fucking got you.
Yeah.
So he was arrested.
Good.
Once arrested, he confessed.
Okay.
But he said that she had told him that there were 3 men who had sexually assaulted her and the girls, right?
Uh-huh.
And this fishing trip was actually planned to talk to her about those men and find out who they are, find out about the assault,
Getting it back.
and game plan beating the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Right?
She's like, hey, John, you know how you had me over that one time because you wanted to beat the shit out of me because I cheated with somebody's boyfriend?
Man, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could use your services over here.
Yep. And so that allegedly was the plan.
What the fuck?
But when he brought her to Phillip Island, apparently they arrived to Nicole's house like shortly after midnight. Allegedly, Nicole stayed in bed, did not wake up, I'm sure. But they were hanging out in the living room listening to music, and then she went to bed in one of the rooms. I guess when John was going to bed, he walked by her room. The door was open. She was laying in bed, and she was like, hey, come here. Like, let's talk, right?
Yeah.
And so he went in, laid down on the bed next to her, and, like, put his arm under her head. Like, now they're, like, kind of cuddling on the bed, right?
Yeah. She's like, oh, well, I was using my pillow, but okay.
Yeah, this is way more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm so glad that your arm is there now.
Now it's sweaty and sticky for some reason against my face. Can you just fucking not?
Yeah.
That's probably what happened.
That's really exactly what happened. She's like, we are not having sex. I'm trying to go to sleep.
Yeah, like, do you have drugs actively?
Have
Get the fuck out of here.
so many drugs. I'm going to bed.
So he laid down. He allegedly put his arm around her. They cuddled.
He's like, so when you find her neck, my DNA is going to be on it.
Might be on her neck. I guess they started talking about the assault again. And then allegedly, she said something that was a bit different, and it kind of struck him, right? According to him, she implied that the men had sexually assaulted the girls in order to pay Raechel's drug debt.
Oh.
Like, she had said something along the lines of, like, a girl's got to pay her debts.
Oh.
And he didn't like that.
A Lannister always pays their debts.
Right? So this allegedly set off John, who then took his arm that was under her head and just wrapped it around her.
Just let her stop breathing.
And began to strangle her.
Took away her burdens, huh?
And he kind of had her in like a sleeper hold, and she started struggling. And so then he grabbed her legs with his legs and held her down and strangled her like that.
Oh, no. That's awful. He like monster trucked her.
Yeah.
And then paused.
Yeah. After that, he went out to his car and he got a box of knives that he used to dismember her body.
Jesus Christ.
Nicole said that she was in bed before they had arrived at her house, right? And she didn't get up when they got there, but she did say that she could hear him doing something in the bathroom.
What? We're in Nicole's house for all of this?
So John dragged Raechel's body to the bathroom where he tied her feet with some, like, cord or cable or something.
Okay.
To the taps in the bathtub.
Okay.
I don't know why.
To drain her?
I'm guessing.
Oh, my God.
But he had tied up her feet like that. And then he began dismembering her. There is an account where he's talking about it.
And Nicole's just like, oh, I was just so tired, but he was doing something in that bathroom. I'll tell you what. He must have some taco shop.
Slept right through it, but he was banging around a lot. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. He does talk about the dismembering of it and, like, how he didn't know how to do it or where to begin or whatever, and that this box of knives that he had was just like a kind of piecemeal box of things with like a box cutter and stuff in it. And he's like, I tried all the different blades because I didn't know how, didn't know what I was doing.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Fucked up.
What the fuck?
Also said...
He's like, now listen, I'm a bit of an amateur. All right.
You might find some amateur cuts out there. I wasn't doing my best work.
Yeah, it's not my best.
Yeah.
Like he's fucking making excuses.
I don't know. He also said that he had Nicole make him a coffee and toast at some point during the dismembering because he had thrown up from it because it was gross, right?
And then he wanted to eat.
And then he was like, I need something to settle my stomach. And so he had Nicole make him stuff. And
so
allegedly,
she's awake.
Allegedly, she did. And then he ate it, whatever. I forgot to mention. Okay, so allegedly, he's like halfway through dismembering her. And he got tired, had to stop.
I bet.
And so he went and laid down in Nicole's bed and slept for a little while next to her.
What?
And then, yeah, when he woke up, then he got up and went back out there.
3 bed, how many baths?
I think 2, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. On an island. It's cute. It's quaint as fuck.
Yeah, I'm just more concerned about there's a dead lady in the one bathroom, but if we have 2...
I'm hoping there's 2. There's probably a master.
Like, Nicole's like, not in my bathroom.
Right. Also, in the bathroom, she probably didn't give them the master. So, like, did he have to drag her down the hall?
Yeah, that's what I'm so concerned about.
Horrifying.
It's like, keep the door shut. I took a dookie in there. Ugh. Don't worry about that ceiling fan.
Right.
Or whatever it's called.
You can't go in there.
The air, you know what I'm talking about.
The vent.
Bathroom, vent. There we go. Like that. The
bathroom
thing that makes
air.
A noise when you're taking a shit. Hide those loud plops.
So, allegedly he went to sleep with her for a little bit and then woke up, finished the job. She made him coffee and toast, and then
he's like, I'm just going to take the trash out.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so
I don't know. Rug. I don't know what's his plan. I don't believe Nicole, first of all.
I don't believe either of them. Yeah. But This is also a really
Fair
kind of
point.
fucked up thing that I didn't know where to put, and so I had thrown it in here.
Love it.
But the police are investigating him and trying to figure out what all of, what had happened and everything.
Yeah,
They're
like,
talking
I don't know
about.
what's real or what's not at this point.
Yeah, they're asking him questions. So they had gathered up most of her body at this point, right?
Okay.
Her breasts were cut off.
Yeah, I bet.
Like,
I don't
separately.
like he did.
He
took
cut
them
those
from
off
the-
purposely. Yeah.
I bet.
And so the
I
cops
believe it.
asked him,
What'd you do with the
why-
tits?
Well, why?
Oh,
Why did
yeah.
you do that? And he said, quote, because she didn't deserve to die as a fucking woman.
Oh,
I don't know what that
she
means.
still has a vagina. Did she still have a vagina?
I don't know. But it's just a fucked up glimpse into his little brain, right?
Yeah, his Lil is right.
Little brain, yeah. So then John gave Raechel's overnight bag to
Guys
Nicole.
are so fucking weird, by the way. Like,
So
no
fucking
female
weird.
murderer is going to be like, and now I'm going to slice off her tits. We're like, that's too much extra
I might
work.
cut a dick off. Like, if I had
Oh,
it,
sure. But I mean,
if I was
it's so
dismembering,
little.
I'd be like, this doesn't fold easily. Just put it in its own.
It's like just so easy. You could accidentally do that.
Yeah, right?
It's
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying.
slicing through a fucking banana.
But like a breast, that's like a chicken breast. Like, you gotta fillet it off.
Oh God, yeah. And can you imagine the gelatinous? It's all wiggly.
It's just like a
gotta be
jellyfish.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like a jellyfish.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I would imagine.
Imagine cutting the tentacles off a jellyfish. You can't. They just move.
So yeah, they're just so wiggly. And then like as soon as you cut it, does it just flop to the other side? You're like, whoa.
Didn't someone in one of our stories in the very beginning collect boobs? I think it was my story. Someone had collected
Probably.
a bunch of boobs in a box, and we were like, but how?
Yeah, was it just the nipples? I have questions.
But how did they settle?
Yeah, it's just got to be like Jello
separate
molds
pieces into like
everywhere.
little.
It's got to be. I can't imagine. I don't understand it.
Yeah, gross.
Lee has said to me before, I wish I could just put boobs on a wall and I could just like, brrr.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like guys.
I don't
I'm sure he
understand.
doesn't want them dismembered on a wall, but
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he was just trying to tell me how much he appreciates boobs. And I'm like, I'd like to formally apologize for the merchandise that has been brought to your doorstep.
Oh man.
Lee's like, why would you ever say that out loud? I don't remember saying that. And I'm like, I do. It lived in my head forever.
Yeah, that's one of those.
Yeah.
Now I just imagine eye level everywhere in his house, just nipples,
Yeah.
tits, nits and tipples.
Everywhere.
or anyway,
Imagine, like there's a female serial killer with a box of dicks, you know?
I'm sure there is. Like Lorena Bobbitt did it, but she had a reason. Like she was mad about stuff.
Yeah, but like what if you came to my house and it was just like a coat hanger that was a dick upside down? Like a hanging dick, like just a gently resting, flaccid dick. And
Like
I
someone would
flipped
hang a
it-
rattlesnake over their fence to like drain it.
Yeah, and then I flipped it upside down and I made that my coat hanger.
I love it.
Like an upside down dick. So like between the balls and the dick is where you place the neck of your coat.
This is great. Just hang it on the balls.
You guys better watch out for your dicks. I might have plans. Just hanging on the balls.
Or
the
is
balls just
against
slide to the
wall?
side.
Are the balls against the wall and it'd be upside down and then just like,
Yeah.
because it would kind of curve.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
See, I'm onto
I
something.
think you really are.
Can't do the same with tits. I don't know. Maybe a cork board or something.
Going.
Like you can hang your notes on it, stab a pin in it. I don't know.
Yeah, little pin cushions.
Oh, there you go.
Pillows.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, very small pillows.
Very poofy jacket. Heavy.
Oh my god.
I'm just thinking what makes those shapes. Like a quilt?
Yeah, like a pillow quilt.
Yeah. Anyway, tried to get off this topic 8 times now.
Let's do it.
Okay, so John gave Raechel's overnight bag to Nicole, and he told her to dispose of it. I don't know what happened to it.
His overnight bag?
Her overnight bag.
Oh, her
Raechel's overnight bag.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
And she's like, that's so weird. Why would I need to dispose of this?
well, she knew
Don't
someone.
you think Raechel wants this?
She knew a girl was coming to her house, and then she knew that a girl was not at her house. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what
sure.
she thought
Okay.
happened,
Allegedly.
allegedly, but
Yeah. But from her perspective, allegedly.
yeah, I don't know.
The girl just didn't show up.
Maybe. And
So did she get rid of it?
I don't know. I don't know what happened to the bag.
Oh.
And then John brought Raechel's body to New Haven Pier. He said that he cut the bags open and he cut open her torso while he was out there so that everything would sink. He threw the knives
Oh,
and
God.
Raechel's clothes and phone in as well.
That's a bit of a pro there.
Yeah. And then he went back to Nicole's house and he cleaned the bathroom with bleach. So, obviously, he is charged for her murder.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, and by the way.
Yeah, because this is all in a confession to the
Yeah,
police.
yeah,
They're like,
yeah,
yeah. So then what happened, right? So obviously he's charged with her murder, and the judge didn't believe his story about Raechel being involved in these sexual assaults or anything.
Weird.
And there were multiple character witnesses saying that she loved those girls. Like, she would never do anything to harm
pay
them.
a debt.
Yeah, to pay a debt or anything like that. Even her going on this alleged fishing trip, people were like, that's really weird. She doesn't like to be away from the girls, like especially overnight. She was a dedicated mother figure to these girls.
Right.
She's not going to do that. But, she did. And she was excited about the trip and everything.
Yeah. It was definitely painted as something different.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So the judge didn't believe anything that he's fucking selling, right?
Good.
Instead, the judge believed the prosecution's story that John had a crush on Raechel and he had invited her out to the island to try and bang her, but she rejected him. He freaked out, right?
Right.
And then that happened.
That fragile male ego.
Mm-hmm. So he pleaded guilty to her murder in May of 2011, and in August, he was sentenced to life without parole.
Oh, shit. He finally got life. What happened to the girls? They live back with their mom?
I'm sure.
They're adults by then.
Yeah, now at this point. They were at their mom's house at the end there when she was dabbling in.
Yeah, that fucking sucks, man.
Yeah. Isn't that horrible? Also, fucking 3 murders.
Yeah.
3.
He got about privilege, man.
He got out twice.
Yeah,
he
that's
murdered
insane.
2 people and then, quote unquote, served the time for, like, paid his due
And
to
he couldn't
society.
just fucking lay low.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's in there for life now.
Yeah.
Like that one, you know.
This one, yeah. Can't murder a woman, you know?
Is that why you
I
think?
don't know. Maybe.
Like,
I
cut
mean,
off their
heartstrings
tits.
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Because the other dudes were allegedly, like, kind of in the same circles, right?
Well,
So-
this one definitely had more evidence, like physical. Like we had a body.
Yeah. And, like, timestamps or whatever.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like actual.
Yeah. Isn't that horrible?
That's horrible. I don't know what makes somebody do that though.
I don't either.
Like what was wrong with that guy?
Maybe that accident.
That
When he was
that
in the
frontal
army.
lobe injury
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Whatever brain.
Brain injury.
Well, goddamn. If you want to check out pictures pertaining to Erin's case, you should go to our social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok. Our handle is at ISGD Podcast. You can email us at isgdpodcast@gmail.com or you can snail mail us at
P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
If you want to support your favorite podcasters, you can do so at Patreon. We have a Patreon, and for as little as $1 extra every month, you can get access to all of our back episodes on Patreon, as well as there are other tiers where you can get behind the scenes video footage or audio footage of what the fuck it is that we do when we set these up. And it is quite magical and very unprofessional. So if you're into the extra random ass content babbles, then you should do so because
Yep.
you get to support us. And
Today
we
you get to see us panic thinking that we weren't recording.
Yeah, this whole time, like towards the end of it, we fucking thought that the audio was off the whole time. See, you get access to that. Who doesn't want to see sheer panic for half a second? Or you can see us fanning ourselves covered in sweat because we're dying of heat in here.
Yep.
Whatever it is, you should come support us.
Yeah.
Also, please subscribe, rate, and review so that other people can find us and it can put our names at the top of lists when people search for true crime podcasts. We love you guys so much. And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.